All right, you cheeky heroes, here we go. We'll have a little intro music, but I'll cut it short because we're just wasting time. I've just got a couple of things to sort out. Excuse the grammar. See you in a minute. Yeah, lovely, nice one. Thanks, mate. We've only got about an hour, and I have badly, so sepia. I have, I've sweet in my mouth. I have badly raid edit version. That was Jerry Wallace, Lovers of the World, with a nice little fade out there. We are a little bit. I quite like the sepia, just not that much. Okay, right. Nice to have. We've got about 8 or 9 people in here at the moment. Always lovely. Probably a few more than that, actually. First thing I want to say is this beauty. Oh, look what it's done to my barnet. So this was the crema that I've been enjoying, right? And you get these in Phnom Penh when you stay in hotels. And they are traditional cremas, but they're a bit on the brief side, a bit on the short side. Because my missus knew how much I loved it, she went into the province and got me a proper one. I mean, you can see already that it's a substantially bigger affair. And the beauty of it is you can actually do what the Cambodians do with it. They use it to keep the sun off their head, but they also use it, carry babies, carry food. You can make a weapon out of it. You can make a slingshot out of it. I'm just going to show you the traditional, what the traditional province people do with it. Hang on. Because it's quite a weird one. You'd think that it would, it would just fall apart, but this is what they do in the provinces, and I'm not joking. This is the traditional province crema. That's it. I don't know about. I think all those little. Those little cheeky white bits are going to have to come off. If I can do this in the mirror without losing my head. Oh, there you go. Magic scissors. But yeah, you'll see Cambodian women wearing them like that. But they'll go to market with one of these on. When they get to the market, they'll put all their shopping in it, tie it around their shoulders and get their shopping home. If they got a baby, they'll strap their baby to the chest with it. And they also use them to wear as a skirt. They're actually amazing. If you've seen The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, you see Arthur Dent, he says you need a towel. A towel is an amazing thing, and it's much like I reckon Douglas Adams got the idea of the towel being one of the most useful items from the Crammer, because it really is a Cambodian multifaceted and multifunctional unit. Right, I'm going to put the link in the description. We've only got an hour, people, and then I've got to do the Explorers stream. Then I've got a 2-hour business meeting. Then I've got another business meeting, but then I've got another scrub stream. Not sure if I'm going to do the evening scrub stream. It's just asking too much. 1 in the morning, 2 private streams, 2-hour business meeting, then another meeting, and it not because I don't think you're worth it or that I can't do it, but I just won't have the energy. I'm still nursing my gin hangover, and while I'm talking to you, it's lovely, but in between streams, I am mucked up. So it'll be a waste of your time and mine to actually try and do the 5th stream of the day. So anyway, listen, if you've never been here before, this is how it works. I put the link in the description. I think I can get 9 people in here, and there's 9 people watching. You've only got to go audio. You can go video if you want. We can discuss among ourselves. It's just a chat. It's just a hangout. I'm not going to sit here talking about Robin Hood and things I've done in my life. I actually like it more when the subs talk amongst themselves. So I'll put the link in the description now. And how much better is it doing it like this? I worked out how we can do it like this without. Do you remember remember doing it through YouTube when it was absolute jank? So I think this is preferable. So I'll put the link in the chat. And also, listen, if you wanna come in, but you haven't got a lot to say, or you're a bit shy, doesn't matter. We had Willow Wook in the other week. He said about 4 words, but he wanted to take part. And we're all about community here. And if that's your contribution, that's all right. Because group dynamics work like that. You have the mouthy one, you have the comedy one, you have the shy one, but they've all got something to offer. We all learn something off of each of them. I can remember being at school, there was a really shy lad that I used to I got lumbered next to him in geography. Because they wanted, you know how schools work. They wanted to put the mouthy extrovert, me, with the sort of shy, sort of retiring introvert, so that maybe we could, learn a bit from each other. Because they were basic and they didn't understand psychology, what they didn't realize was we both had the same problems. We just dealt with it differently. We were both terribly, terribly scared of what people thought of us. My way of dealing with that was to perform, and his way of dealing with that was to, go into himself. So putting us next to each other, all it actually done was convinced us both that what we were doing was possibly the best method. So well done, school. So where we go. Oh, you're shy, are you, SB? Now, one other thing, it seems a bit cheeky, but the super chats are open and the entropy is open. The entropy link. Oh, I better turn on the entropy. I mean, I don't expect it like on a normal stream, but the normal streams have been absolute jank for donations, and that's all right. They come and they go, but it is important for me when I'm sacrificing time. And this isn't really. I'm not really saying this to you. I'm just explaining it. I'm happy to give up 3-4 hours a day, but that's time I should be working on my business, which does pay. So it is something I have to think about. Oh, did you hear that? See how quiet it was? There you go. We'll deal with that. So there you go. You know how the super chats work. And super chat not working. What? What, you can't super chat on an unlisted video? Well, entropy will work. So there you go. There's the option, and the link to it is in the description of this video anyway. So you can entropy, and a few of those would be nice, but you know, no dramas. Okay, so if you need the entropy link later, ask me, but it is in the description, and that will work. Right, here you go. Here's the invite. It doesn't matter if 1, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of you come in. It really doesn't. We just have a little chat. It's quite laid back. If this is the first one of these you've been to, sometimes no one says anything, and then someone will just say something like, "Did anyone see the motor racing?" It's nice. It's just this is like the glorious House of Scrubs. The link's in the chat, by the way. There, I'll put it a few times. The glorious House of Scrubs is like being who's in first? Sarah.
Hello.
Looking, I might have to get my headphones actually after I heard that fog on. Hang on. The glorious House of Scrubs is like all us lot at a football match. Campbell's on the firm, but this is more like a little elite that have broken off and had a few beers down in the boozer. So let me just get my headphones in, otherwise it'll be echo central. Let me just turn my master volume down.
I wanted to come in first because I've got a confession.
Hang on. Let's try this. Say something, anyone?
Hello. Hello.
Oh, look at them all. Son of me's on the firm. Field Marshal Browning. Don't go making surprises.
Pleased to meet you all. That's excellent.
Yeah,
hello.
Nice to see you, son of me. You've been around these parts. You're a high-ranking scrub, but we finally got you there.
Oh, thank you very much. I'm going to drink to that, okay?
No, go for it. Oh my God. Whoa.
Sorry.
Where did you get that from?
I took my son to Chinatown in Newcastle, and he said, "Dad, I want a different drink. Let's go in there." There was a million, and I saw this, and I thought, "Oh my God, I've got to get that."
My God, what do you make of it? Seriously, I won't be offended, but what do you make of it?
Yeah, it's perfumey, flowery kind of grapes. That's what I think.
Yeah, I think it is actually grapefruit, but it's not overpowering, is it? And it's not fizzy.
No, it's not fizzy at all. It's more like water, as far as that goes, and it's really kind of it's a basic taste. But
to
hey,
be honest,
I didn't buy it for the taste.
You seem a little bit too masculine to be enjoying a Pocari Sweat.
No, I'm in touch with both sides. No problem.
Okay. But in that case, you're a bit too masculine and feminine for a Pocari Sweat. But lovely. Brownie, why can't we see your boat race? You in bed?
Ted, can you hear me?
Can hear you. It's a little bit funny, but can't see you.
I'll leave and try and come back in again. Bye.
Okay, nice one. And then we've got our lad Stephen Campbell. Stephen, are you in the car?
You know it.
You are actually in your car again.
Yeah, I'm getting an echo. Should I back out and come back in?
No, because it's probably not you.
Is it me?
Sarah and son of me aren't wearing headphones. And here's what happens.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. So I am Sarah's, son of me is Steve. Who's the other Stephen, or is that you? No, that's you. What are you getting an echo of yourself, Stephen?
I'm getting an echo of everyone.
Yeah, because you haven't got any headphones on, have you? Oh,
no, everyone.
God, yes. Oh, I have no idea why that's happening then. Leden's coming in.
Hello.
Hello, Silence.
Hey. Before you ask, I've got headset as well, and my new mic as well, Yeti Blackout. So I should have improved audio quality.
You sound
I'm getting
fabulous.
a bit fuzzy. I'm getting fuzzy noises.
Sounds good to me.
Oh, it's gone.
Oh, guys,
you like a bit fuzz there?
Can I be really cheeky? Can I be really cheeky and take over a second because I've got a confession?
No, crack on. I'll find my other headphones while you're doing it.
Go ahead.
I got really drunk on Friday night and I feel really bad.
Don't worry about feeling bad. It happens.
I'm really gutted and angry at myself because I had 4 months and I had a bit of a shitty night and I got really drunk. Anyway, I just wanted to get that off my chest because I'm not quite as amazing as...
There's no point beating yourself up about it because you've got drunk, what, once in 5 weeks?
4 months, yeah.
What? Sorry. This is hangover. Once in 5 days? Once in 5 months is
4
better
months.
than once in every day, isn't it?
Yeah, okay. So, yeah, anyway, I felt really bad and I just wanted to share that.
I don't think when we relapse, I've got to take this thing off, it's so hot here. When we relapse, one of the worst things we can do is indulge in shame and guilt, because a lot of us drink and use drugs on the back of shame and guilt. So if we then sort of use that relapse to create more shame and guilt, chances are we're going to drink again somewhere.
Yeah. Okay. So it's all good then. Okay. Brilliant.
Well, it's not
Thank
all
you.
good. It's 98% good. But
okay, I'll take that.
and also, this is the weird thing is, this is what I say to everyone, because, well, not everyone, but apart from the people in the chat who say I'm 10 weeks clean.
Well, one thing.
Huh? Hello? Who said something?
I didn't say anything.
Oh, it must have been in my ear. So it does that. One of the things about who's trying to come back in? We've got them all there. Oh, hang on, Field Marshal. I didn't say anything. Oh, it must have been in my ear. So it does that. One of the things about who's trying to come back in? We've got them all there. Oh, hang on, Field Marshal. Dawn? So it does that. Dawn? Things about
Dawn, can you mute your YouTube, please?
I've removed. Dawn, you need to get some headphones because your YouTube is going into your microphone. How many times have you got to tell these people this stuff? Interesting questions, Sarah. How was it? How was it when you hit that drink? How did you enjoy yourself?
I did for the first couple of hours, but I kept drinking. I got through about 2/3 of a bottle of bourbon, and
wow.
then I started crying, and and it all got a bit silly. And then and I felt really, oh God, I'm still a bit hungover now, and it's felt like shit yesterday. Said some really silly things, and that I didn't mean, and but I've sorted all that out now. But I'm not going to do it again. I realise that it's just horrible. I hate drinking, and I think it's good that I've come to that point, because I used to really love it.
One of the weird things about that, the things you say when you're drunk, and then when you're sober, you sort of say to people, I'm so sorry about that, and that was all a little bit intense, but, I was drunk. But we all secretly know that they think you still meant it. The booze just allowed you to say it.
Yeah, I've heard that.
And that can be quite painful.
I toyed with that idea for many years, and you kind of convince yourself, is that the real me? Is it just the booze giving me the confidence to come out of it? But no, being sober for a few months has taught me otherwise, and I like being straight. It's great. It's nice. Yeah.
It's such a struggle. It's that existential struggle of being, even if you're not dependent on a substance, it's a struggle dealing with that difference between you sober and you pissed. It's almost like a schizophrenia, and that's hard to navigate your life, because what you were saying to your mate on the phone last night isn't who you are this morning, and I think it kind of confuses you, and that sort of stuff can be quite painful, I think.
Yeah. Anyway, I got it off my chest now. I just wanted to say sorry to everyone, because everyone's been bigging me up, and I feel terrible.
It was like that geezer Lee who turned up in the chat yesterday, and I said that he'd apologised. The fucking emails he was sending me, you fucking cunt, you fucking this, I'll fucking you want to say that to my face, I'll cut your fucking fingers off. Like, and I just see the first few letters and just dump it, and then you know, and that's every day he was sending me them. And then the last one is, I'm so sorry, I'm in a real mess. Can you help me?
Yeah, it's yeah. Well, I didn't quite go that far, but
no.
Anyway, let's change subject now. Sorry.
Well, hang on, just while you're getting a bit uncomfortable, that's when I'm going to lay it on you, because of all the people in the chat who said, I've stopped drinking, I'm not drinking, or I'm not smoking, or whatever, and there's been loads of them. I think everyone here has seen plenty of them. I get about, I don't know, I'm getting about 70, 80 emails a day, and I'd say about 15, 20 of them are people struggling with, if it's not substances, including alcohol, it's behaviours like shoplifting, anorexia, porn, all that. And all of them, the problem is this: they can stop, and they can stop for months or weeks, but when it's almost not a problem. I mean, I know you can get physically addicted to drugs like alcohol and heroin and benzos, where even if you want to stop, you can't, because you've got to do a withdrawal. But for most people, they can actually just stop. They like, I don't drink enough to go into delirium tremens and see spiders crawling up the ceiling. And it's all lovely. But when something challenging happens in life, the first thing they do is go back to their behaviour or substance of choice.
Yeah, I am kind of going through a bit of a strange period at the moment, and I've got some heavy shit I've got to deal with, and I think that
Okay, and I'm not going to push you on that, but the mad thing about substance abuse is you've got some real heavy shit to deal with, and you know, we all get it occasionally, but you're not an idiot. You're a very clever lady, but you've got some real heavy shit to do. I know what I'll do. I'll poison my brain. I'll have an inability to communicate in a reasonable manner, and compromise my ability to actually deal with these things. So it's a cruel mistress.
It sure is, yeah. And I just wanted to run away and hide for a few hours, and unfortunately I picked up the bottle.
And then you had run away and hidden, but after you'd had a bit, you run away and come back to everyone and went, anyway, this is what I wanted to say.
Yeah, pretty much. Oh god.
You know,
but the hangovers are just awful, aren't they? Once you hit 40, the hangovers last for 2 days.
Yeah, it's been a shocker. Let me just try and get Dawn back in before
Yay, Dawny.
we move on, because she has been lingering there. Why can't I? Oh, there you go.
I think it's working.
Field Marshal Browning?
All right, trying again. Can you hear me?
Sorted, yeah, all good.
Hello, gorgeous.
Phew. Hello, lovely girl.
She was talking to Stephen, Sarah, when she said hello, gorgeous.
Oh, all right. Where's that bottle gone?
Yeah, thanks for sharing. Yeah, I've had a few tonight, so don't expect anything really serious out of me tonight. So, how's Stephen going?
I'm doing all right. What have you been up to?
Oh, gardening and gardening and gardening.
What are you growing?
Oh, where do I start? Corn, zucchini, aubergine, peas, lots of things. Yeah.
Yeah. I've got a load of seeds, a lot of Chiltern heritage seeds that I want to plant. At the moment, I've only planted the strawberries, and the little shoots of doing pretty well. But it's going to be a long time before they bear fruit.
I've never grown
Lovely.
anything before in my life.
Homegrown strawberries are just beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh
They
yeah, I've
taste
got
so
a few already, but I'm just adding new varieties in there as well. And I've also got peas, sweet corn, zucchini, onions. Obviously now's the time of the year to plant onions, so maybe I should do that.
Yeah.
Is there a big
the garden's in a
difference?
bit of a state, yeah.
Is there a big difference in Dawn, what you can plant compared to me or Silence? Since I'm guessing me and him have similar climates, but you're in a lot hotter place, I assume.
Yeah, we're in a temperate zone, so we can grow pretty much all year round.
Oof, it's handy.
Beautiful.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, your gardening videos have been really nice. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
I love them. Your little smokery that you've got, Dawn, that's just so cool. I really want one of those. I want to smoke bacon and stuff like that, and cheese. Can you do cheese in it too?
Yeah, you can, but if you've soaked meat in it previously, then you really have to clean it out before you smoke anything else in it.
Right.
So we tend just to smoke red meats and pork in there.
Nice.
Well, I've got no garden to speak of, but my 17-year-old son was given an allotment by a friend of the family, and he's got got 9 chickens and 20 odd pigeons, and he's learning all about them now, and he is never away from the place. So he wants to know, Dad, can I grow this? Oh,
you must be so lucky. The waiting list for allotments in some parts of the country is like months and months.
Absolutely. No, it's 10 years. Where I am in Newcastle, it's 10 years on the list.
Wow.
And someone just handed him the keys.
Wow, that's awesome.
What's
Is he
an
going to get
allotment?
a polytunnel on there?
Steve, an allotment is basically a private garden which is separate from your own house. You go, it's on the estate. You will find just a load of small patches of land which people can maintain. They can keep poultry. They can grow vegetables. They can do whatever they want with it. But they are quite hard to come by in some places.
Yeah, absolutely, they are.
Interesting.
So it was fantastic.
You have a waiting list for an allotment?
Correct, yeah, and it can be up to 10 years, literally.
Oh.
Mm-hmm. So it was more than just luck, it was amazing.
That's awesome. It's weird to think about because I live in the country right now, and I'm looking around and I see cows and hills, farmland, gardens, and it's because there's so much empty space in the U.S. and I don't know.
Right.
I prefer to live out in the middle of nowhere, I guess.
I'll show you out my window. This is Newcastle, and this is
careful.
why I haven't got a garden. This is where I live.
Oh, what?
It's a fucking shithole, really. Excuse my French, but it is. But it is, and that's why we were so gifted to get an allotment, So anyway, I'm not into growing particularly. What I'm into is sitting on that picnic bench and having a few beers and getting on the Eagles or Metal and listening throughout the night with the chickens running around my feet with my son. It's bloody perfect. I love it.
Son of me, is there a community of people at the allotments, or don't they mix?
Yeah, they do. We talk to our neighbours for sure.
Nice.
For instance, there's no running water in our particular allotment, but the guy next door, he says, I know there's no running water in there, so whenever you need it, please come and see me, and I'll give you gallons of the stuff. So excellent, you know. Share the chicken eggs out all the time. That's good.
It must come to some surprise to like the Americans and the Australians that there's a 10-year waiting list on a 20 by 20 foot bit of land.
I bet.
Son of mine, you showed off the Picari earlier, but do you also have the scrub scent still?
Hey, look.
Nice.
It's now rare, you know. In many ways, this has been our GameStop. You know, the Mandom stock was dropping.
Yeah.
Scrub said buy, and now it's up like £40-50 a bottle.
You don't think we should actually look to investing in it, do you? The Mandom Corp, even though they don't make it anymore.
The hedge fund people are going to... You'll go on free trade tomorrow and you'll try and get onto Mandom and they'll say, no, you can sell, but you can't buy. I don't want to interrupt because I prefer you lot talking, to be honest. But send some community asked in the chat.
That Master Ben does not like his Mandom that I bought for him. He says it's not quite the smell that he likes. So who wants the bottle?
Yeah, but Dawn, do you like it though?
Who wants it?
How old is he, Dawn?
Oh, you know, he's old enough.
Roughly.
He's
22.
closer to 50.
Well, I find that strange because the reason I like it is because it reminds me of what adult males smelt like when I was like 5. And when you're a 5-year-old child, male, you want to be like those, and that smell, it's like a brute, isn't it? It's like the old brute and the old spices.
So true, but he didn't have a very good experience with his father, so I guess that might have something to do there.
That might be it. Can I just introduce Sense and Community? He asked if he was a hero or an explorer in the chat. The fact that you're in this chat, Sensor, means you're a hero, but that also means you can get into the Explorer chat because the way the strata works, you get what you get and everything below it. So nice to see you, my friend.
Yeah, so nominations for whoever wants the spare bottle of Mandom that's hanging around at my place because, I'm not going to wear it. Ben's not going to wear it.
If you want to ship it,
you should auction it in a normal stream.
If you want to ship it to the other side of the world, I'll take it.
Not an auction. Yeah, no, free postage, free everything. Whoever wants it can freaking well have it.
Well, Stephen just called it.
There you go.
I'll buy it off of you.
You're probably closer to Dawn than we are here.
I don't know. We should know. This is something that we should know. We should know where the rest of the people in the Anglosphere are. It's a shame that we don't. Like in terms of mileage.
Don't you have my email address already?
No.
Very good, very good. Stephen, ping me an email. I'll give it to Dawn, and between you can arrange the acquisition of a bottle of the. I don't know what I dare not call it the wrong thing. Linda Hunter has joined.
Linda!
Hello.
Hey, Linda.
Hello, everyone. How are we all?
Linda?
I'm well, thank you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Yeah, sure.
And how is everyone there?
Good.
All good.
Great.
So, yes. It's all dark and quiet here. Oh, no,
Linda,
here comes a child.
Linda, are you all healed up after your accident, darling?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh, good. And little Sunny, is she doing good?
Yes, she just came out to tell me that she can hear me from her bedroom.
Oh.
And,
Love
and
you, Sonny.
she's already slammed the door to go back. But yeah, she's all right. She's find out if she gets her frame off on next week, and then she might go back to school. So that will be nice. Because after last year, having 2 of them home for 6 months or whatever the hell it was, I can't wait till they're both back at school.
Yeah.
I love my kids. Fuck off.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're coming down here next weekend. You get your Lucas to look after your Sonny, and yeah, you're coming down here next weekend, love.
Yeah, that's the plan. I haven't spoken with them yet.
Are you girlies getting together?
Yeah, it's my birthday in a week.
We've already been together.
Happy early
Yeah, we've
birthday.
already met. Oh, thank you. Yes. Yes. So it will be
But this
third
sounds
time
like it
lucky.
might get a bit messy.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. Exactly. So I'll be looking forward to that. I've met Ben already. And
Master
Ben. Oh, yes. Keep it formal.
Is he really hunky?
I was so
He's quite handsome, yes.
Yeah.
I was so impressed that when Linda and Sonny had their accident, that another scrub just shot down there. How nice is that? That's kind of what it's all about, really. We've built a community, and someone done that. And we've had 2 people. We had that fellow who lost his wife and child in giving birth, and 3 or 4 scrubs wrote to me and said, "Look, just pinging my email. I've had the same thing happen." And you know, when tragedies when tragedies happen, which they do to all of us, this is life. You know, it's not an easy ride. One of the problems I've had with a lot of my tragedies is that lack of identification. You know, feeling really lonely because people don't understand what you're going through, and to have other people reach out and say, "I know what you're going through," is, you know, it's brilliant, and we've had a lot of that in this community.
It's great, actually. On sorry,
go for it, SB.
Oh no, I was just gonna say on Friday night, we were all chatting. There was about 8 of us in the Scrubs group chat, chit chatting, and a lovely guy came on, and he lost his wife, and we were all just, you know, chit chatting, and he was really lonely, and it was so nice. And I think our group, I'm just really buzzing from it, because I've had so many messages from people saying this is awesome, you know. Because as much as it's lovely for us lot to all chat when you do the streams, I felt that there were people who needed to keep in contact after you'd finished streaming, and it's just brilliant because it's 24/7 there, and there's always someone around, and it's great, and I think it's doing really well.
Always there.
Rags.
And we had a right laugh on Friday night. It was really, really, real good fun. So
secondary to that too, is that Linda and I actually met before Linda had her accident, and that was through through Chris. Yeah. So we'd already met, and then she had an awful accident. But also since then, I've met a guy who I did a quote for cleaning. And his wife died in November through breast cancer. He's got a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and he's struggling to keep his house clean. And I've dedicated 2 hours of my week, every single week, just to go around there and help him keep his house clean, because he's struggling.
Oh, mate, that's so lovely of you.
Himself, on himself, yeah.
Oh, Dawn, you're such a bloody sweetheart.
Oh, how can you not do that? When you meet people like that, and they've got no support, nothing from anyone. His parents are in their 70s, he's in his 30s, and I could just see in his eyes. His eyes were dead. Like, how the fuck am I going to get through this? And you just go, knock, 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 knock. Hello, go away. I'm here for 2 hours. And yeah, you just do that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Yeah. Maybe it's good that he's got the kids as well, because that kind of keeps you grounded. You have to kind of keep going, don't you, when you've got kids and, you know.
Seriously, the guy hasn't even had time to breathe. It's November, and yeah, he hasn't even had time to breathe. Yeah.
Oh.
It's a peculiar thing. I remember in the, I think it was the early to mid 80s. I think when Thatcher in England, they wanted to get all the people with serious mental issues out of the asylums, basically to save money. And it was called Care in the Community. You probably remember it's Care in the Community. And that would have been lovely were there a community. And you know, I can remember in my hometown, there were these people who were largely institutionalized. You know, they had their asses wiped for them. They couldn't feed themselves. And they were just put into these little flats and expected, oh, don't worry, the community will look after them. What fucking community?
Yeah.
They had an Ethiopian living on one side of them. They had a Pole living on the other side. And the statistics of the amount of them who killed themselves, killed someone else to get back into a mental home, basically. And it's heartbreaking, really. There's this whole myth that, you know, the community will look after us, but they dare, again, I don't want to smash on what I've been saying. There's this illusion that there's this community that can prop up people who need help, but it's just not there. It just doesn't exist. You've got to make them, which is what we do here. You have to make a community. And
do you think that kind of community spirit ended like late 70s?
It depends on where you're talking about. I mean, maybe where you all are, but where I used to live in Appalachia, and that's what I am, like, is Appalachian stock. So, you know,
wow,
English, Scottish, you know, but on both sides of my family. But around there's a community. I remember the church that my grandmother went to for decades, that my parents got married at. I mean, that's a community. Those people live just a few miles away from each other, and they meet up once or twice a week. They maintain the church through their own donations, you know, and that's a community, but it's in, you know, a very rural kind of place. So in those places, you're still going to, where you have religion, where there's not much urbanization, you're going to have a sense of community. And it's, need I say, homogenous in that area. Everyone's from Great Britain. Like, you know, that island is where everyone there is from. It's all Campbells and Browns and Scots and Justices, you know.
Stephen, I watched a documentary about the Appalachians the other day. About
I remember that.
The Boston bloke who went round to do all the music.
Yeah, that's where I'm from. Yeah.
Yeah, no, for sure. And what really struck me is, and you said it then, they had religion. They've also got their culture, their music, but they've also got extended families, which is another, you know, you'll hear a lot of nationalists. And again, I don't mean to dig Morgoth out, but in his video, he talked about harking back to the post-war America and white picket fences. But it was already fucked by then, because by then it was already mum, dad and kids. But what I got from that Appalachian documentary was you do live with your mum, dad, grandfather, grandmother, aunties, uncles. They are all in that same area. And because of those things, religion, culture, extended family, you've got a community. And in England, they got rid of the extended family. They got rid of religion. They got rid of the culture. Yeah. What else have you got there?
And Linda Hunter will be the same as me in knowing about the Keating, was it Keating era? No, not Keating, the other guy. Where they just closed all the institutions down and put people into our communities that we.
Oh yeah, I know all about that.
Yeah.
I worked in disability services for many years, but mostly when they started putting them out in the community. And when I would go to an institution where they had kind of remodeled it so that there were individual houses, on the weekends, all the people would go down, they had a kiosk or they had a dance hall, and we'd go and put music on, and all, you know, they could wander around the grounds, and it was beautiful. And when they put them all in these individual houses with 5 or 6 clients, then they would be stuck with maybe someone they didn't like, and so a lot of them were very sad to lose the communities where they'd been for like 30, 40 years since they were children, and then they were just all placed out.
Was that Bob Hawke?
No, it was. When do you reckon it was, Dawn? It was probably like the 80s.
It was the guy before Keating. Who was that?
Bob Hawke.
No, it was mid-90s.
Oh, Howard.
No,
John
not Howard.
the Liberal bastard.
No, not Howard. Before Howard. Not Keating. In Victoria, it was the other dude. I can't think of his freaking name.
Well,
but they did it, you know.
It was
a theme.
Yeah, but basically, everybody who was in a cared community was put into our communities.
Yeah,
and
same as in England.
Could not care for them.
And the neighbours did not want them in, you know, like it was, I worked in a respite house for children, and we'd get, 8 clients at a time, but they'd rotate, and it was all the, worst kids in the state whose parents couldn't look after them and they weren't placed. So it was a real noisy house. It was crazy. But yes, the neighbours weren't happy.
Yeah.
I have seen those care homes done right, though. I have seen it done right once before. My ex-girlfriend, her mom was a caregiver in a home with mentally deficient people, schizophrenics, very autistic people, and she was a decent woman, though, and it worked out for the clients in that environment. But, they were not dispersed. The community was too poor to, give them houses or trailers. And it was good for everyone that, it gave the lady a job and it gave them a place to stay, and they were happy there. We used to go there all the time, to visit her when we were teenagers, and we'd get money for pizza or something from her mom. And the clients were happy. They would say, "Hi, Stephen. Hi, Brianna." They were they had a decent life there. They weren't miserable.
No, I think you're right, without a doubt. But I'm guessing, based on what you already said, they were probably similar ethnicity to the people they were caring for.
Homogenous, 100%.
Yeah, and then I'll tell you what, in England it ain't. In England, they're old white people who are sick, and they are not old white people looking after them. And I tell you now, Stephen, it will break your heart. You can go onto YouTube and you will see time and time again, they're just beating the shit out of them, starving
like that guy
them.
in America.
Yeah.
The black dude in America who was assaulting
it turned out that
patients.
he was actually a patient, wasn't he?
I don't
pretending
know.
to be a Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've seen it. I've seen it. It's horrible. When I was nursing, we used to get a lot of elderly patients, obviously, who had slight dementia or whatever, and they were in and out, on a monthly basis with a broken arm or whatever. And we're like, how is this? Why does this keep happening? It's really quite sad.
Drive you mad, because my mum wants to go into a care home. I've invited her out here. I said, come out here, I'll look after you, you'll have a room in my house. But she's an old English woman and she loves England, and she can't stand spicy food, she doesn't like the heat.
Yeah, it's a big move, isn't it? Yeah.
But and there is a care home near her that my nan went to, and my mum actually likes it. She's all like, "Oh no, can't wait! A couple more years, I'll be
Oh.
down there."
Well, if it's
But
her
I'll
choice,
tell
then
you what,
that's, you know.
if anyone hurt her, in Minecraft, there'd be a
Yeah.
mass shooting. I can assure you.
Good.
I was wondering if I could just add a bit to this as well. I'm going from my own family, my experience with my family. Noticed that that people are just moving away from where they used to live. They're going to uni, for instance. They're going to look for work elsewhere, and they settle down these places. And then suddenly, they're meeting people who've also moved away from their hometown. They're having children, and they're all moving away to go to university. Like, I have 3 sisters, and all of them, in separate communities to me. Like, I've got one that's about 10 miles down the road, and I've got one who's across the seas, and and indeed at one point I had 2 who were, and there's about 300 miles of distance between my closest relatives further south and up north. It's crazy, and I think it comes back to this idea that's been pushed upon us, that this whole, I guess we call it the citizen of the world mentality. I read that I found it in a Diogenes the Cynic saying an anecdote, but it's a phrase that I already knew about. I already know is very insidious, but this idea that you can be comfortable wherever you are, just as long as you've got all these like comforts. You're able to buy things on Amazon, you're able to shop at the supermarket. Don't worry about supporting your your community businesses. Don't get to know people. Just consume products, really.
And it's failing miserably, of course.
Yeah. I'd like to make a video about the citizen of the world idea. Yeah.
Well,
my parents are boomers, and they live 250 kilometres away from me. So it's a good 2.5, 3 hours drive away from me. But I know that once they start, what's that crackling? Is that me? No. Yeah, once my parents start declining in their age, my mum's 77 now, and I know that I'm going to be living up there with them, opposed to them moving down here to live closer to me. But that's a step that I'm prepared for.
It's complicated, isn't it? Stephen,
Oh, yeah.
Stephen,
How about
do
you,
you?
Dangerfield? What's going to happen
Can
with
you
you
play-
when your mum?
Say what, Chris?
Sorry, Dog.
When your mum starts failing, Dangerfield, what are you going to do?
Well, this is it. I invited her out here. My brother lives in Japan. He invited her out there, but she doesn't like hot weather. She doesn't like spicy food. She's so ridiculously English. It's untrue.
Yeah.
Now, she owns her property. It's not a very big property, but she'll get a fair amount of money for it, and that will probably pay for a care home. But I think I might be able to convince her to get out here, actually.
Yeah.
Because I say, for the money you get for your house, you can live out here. You can have your own room. You can get a bloody aircon in there, and you'll be with my then wife's family, with your grandchildren. Compared to, she's 77, my mum, and she's fit as a fiddle.
Same as my mum. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that when you said it. But out in the province with my girlfriend's grandmother I think she's now 105 or something. And she is, because she's been around an extended family all her life, she isn't broken in any way. She gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. She goes out and weeds about half acre of garden, comes back with all the melons and pineapples, chops stuff up, makes dinner, washes up. You'd think she was about 60.
Yeah.
And my mum could be living in that environment. But like I said, she's got her eye on the care and she quite likes it. So
yeah, there's the language barrier as well, though, isn't it? That maybe your mum's a bit put off about that. I would imagine.
And the racism. So
Oh, she's got us to talk to us, B.
Yeah.
It's not racism. It's just that, you know, she's English. She wants to be around English people. And as much as I think the whole, you know, you talk to Cambodians about care homes, they just can't believe it. When we talk about extended families out here, it's 30, 40 of them. It's not mum, dad, kids and grandma. It's 40 of them. You know, the amount of times my girlfriend would go to me, oh, my sister's coming over. I'm like, yeah, what one? And it'll be one I haven't even heard of before, you know, and there's another one, and
Sounds like my family.
I'm envious of that. I'm jealous of that because, you know, they haven't got a lot out here. It's one of the poorest countries in Asia, but what they haven't got, you know, it's all very well having iPhones and iPads and central eating and all the other spoils of Western capitalism, but you get those things at a price. You know, there's a reason we need social networking because everyone is just, it's like a diaspora in our own country. But out here, those sort of things aren't so relevant to them because everyone's local. And you know, they haven't, it's changing and they will lose it all. You know, 15, 20 years, it will be like Thailand, it'll be like China here, and it'll be a terrible shame. But you know, what are you going to do?
Were you going to ask me something, Chris?
Yeah, I was going to ask you whether you play an instrument and you get involved with all of the Appalachian music scene.
I play guitar, bass, mandolin, and a few other things, and I have jammed with some people around there. I don't live in Appalachia now, but yeah, I've jammed with them. I can play bluegrass, I can physically do it, but I don't know a whole lot of bluegrass. But yeah, there's some good musicians around there. You know, there's a lot of, but they don't all play bluegrass. It's just people who they have nothing to do, so they get on the internet on Ultimate Guitar and YouTube, and they're 15 years old and they mastered the guitar. You know, there's a lot of that around there.
Stephen, Stephen, did you do you know David Massengill, the Appalachian dulcimer player? He's like a minor, you know, sort of folk musician. I met him last year at a film festival with Lizzie Russell, Ken Russell's widow. And she's also an American. She's a delightful woman, but they were great, a great sort of rapport with each other because they've been to this festival a few times and just there as, you know, as mates and also as hosts. Just thought you'd wondered if you'd like to, you know, because he plays the Appalachian dulcimer. Yeah.
I have one of those, but I don't play it much. But that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I've heard it's not like the hammered dulcimer. It's more like a zither. You know, you don't you put it on your lap and you pluck the strings with your fingers. You don't like tap it with little metal hammers.
No. This is just like a guitar that you lay on your lap and you put your hand over it instead of like that. And it has fewer strings. I think mine has 4 strings, and the frets are not chromatic; they're diatonic, I believe. So, you know, so it's like a scale. You know.
So it'll sound more like more like Oriental music, I guess.
Well, no, it's in a Western scale. So it would, if you went straight up the neck, it would be do re mi fa sol la ti do, not, you know, chromatic, not so it wouldn't sound like that. Now you could play something kind of like that, but you'd be restricted, you know, unless you used a slide or something.
Stephen, why did you, when I watched that documentary, the one I talked about on the stream the other day, it just looked like paradise to me. Why would you leave somewhere like that?
Because there is Walmart, McDonald's, the hospital, and the coal mines, and there's not much in the way of coal mining anymore.
Okay.
I lived there for years, but you know, there's just not much there. I wouldn't mind moving closer to there, but in the heart of it, and unless they start, you know, putting something else in there, and there's land, there's a couple factories. I don't know, maybe after I get out of school, I could go get a you know, kind of a upper level job in one of the factories, that might be pretty cool. But you know,
well, if you ended up with a job much like mine where you could work remotely, so you could run a business online, would you consider
In your
moving
car.
back?
yeah, yes, I would live on the outskirts. Yeah, absolutely, where I could be like in the middle of you know, like, I don't want to say too much about where I am, but yeah, I would,
No, of
if
course.
50 to 100 miles away from the center of it, I would move there. Yeah.
Wow, look at the
It's-
size of America. 50 to 100 miles on the outskirts.
It's so pretty there. You can go ride dirt bikes up on a mountain. I
It
rode
looked
dirt bikes and stuff
beautiful.
my
It
whole
looked
life. Yeah.
beautiful. Yeah, it really did. And
You go out
like
in your
you said,
Yeah,
that music.
keep your eyes off Australia, all right? Keep your eyes off Australia.
See, like you said about the music, that music is kind of a combination of English, Irish, and Scottish
Mhm.
and Welsh music, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
It's,
yeah.
it's a lovely example of the European ancestry of American peoples.
It's something we have maintained without, you know, the use of technology, really. It's something we've maintained since we left the old country. We've just passed it from one generation to the next, and you know, that's a
Yeah.
really cool thought.
Yeah, I agree. I was touched by that video. I had tears in my eyes watching it. Not just a little clip. I watched the
It's a
whole
nice place.
documentary. Yeah, really.
Well, you know it's a cool place. You know it's a cool place when you can get up in the morning, walk out on your front porch, and fire your assault rifle, and your neighbors just grin and wave at you. That's true freedom right there, my friend.
That's the American dream.
Yeah, it's freedom.
Leaden, have you travelled at all? I mean, you're quite a youngster, I'm assuming. I think.
I said this on This Is Why We Fight yesterday when they did the stream about they were just showing off all these beautiful British landscapes, all this architecture, these towns, and it drove home to me just how little I've been traveling in my life. You know, I mean, I don't have a car. I'm basically limited to public transport in my area. Like any place where I've gone myself is, ones that I've also been working at. So. Unfortunately, it's never really in that far. The furthest I've ever travelled from where I live now is Manchester, really.
Really? Jesus.
Wow.
When I was 16, I hitchhiked all around England and Scotland.
Yeah, I would like to. Once the restrictions are lifted, then I definitely want to be making plans. But there's so many other things to do as well. Like obviously getting my job back as well, so that I can make up for all the money I've spent recently on this new setup of mine. But it looks like that might not happen until July. They're saying when they're lifting the restrictions. It's crazy.
What tier are you
Sarah,
guys in?
It's tier 4 all around the country. That's pretty much as high as it goes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I travelled the other day. I fucked off for a couple of daes and managed to get a hotel room for a couple of nights. You just got to tell a few porkies.
Get that booze in you.
Really? Because I got a job at a hotel that was offered, but I can't get it.
Sarah, have you travelled internationally at all?
Yeah, I've been around Europe and Africa a few times.
What do you make of Africa?
Interesting. I've got a friend who's got a hotel in Gambia, and I went out there for a few weeks, and it was lovely. I've been to Morocco a few times. I quite like Morocco, but I wouldn't want to live there.
No. Well, what about Europe? Whereabouts in Europe? Have you been to Belgium?
No, I went to Amsterdam about 8 times.
Of course you did.
I was 16 on my 16th birthday.
Yeah, me too.
Brilliant. I cried when I got back to England. I was like, I don't want to go back.
You cried when you got back to England because that Northern Lights number 5 you've been smoking all week was suddenly a bit of soap bar.
Yeah. I've been to Slovenia, which is absolutely beautiful.
Wow.
Spain. I've got I know people who live in Spain. I've been there quite a lot. Where else have I been?
Out of everywhere you've travelled, what was your where did you like the most?
Slovenia.
Okay.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous there. They are really proud of their culture, and the country, it's just beautiful. The countryside, you've got everything there. You've got, in the summer it's really hot, you've got beautiful lakes where you can swim. Everything's free, it's not out of bounds. You've got the mountains, you know, the forests. They've got wolves and bears still, and it's just, yeah, it's a beautiful country, and they're very, very proud of their culture. The young people just love it, and it's just great, you know. And they're quite a tiny country, very small population, but the youngsters are really proud. You know, they play the traditional music. They love dressing up in all their crazy little festivals that they have out there that go back to all the pagan traditional things. They love it all, and it's just great. It's really a refreshing. I mean, they are part of the EU very recently, but they are very proud of their culture, and they don't import or export very much. They are quite self-sufficient as a country.
Good.
And they make their own wine, and they don't export any of it because they like it so much. They want to keep it.
It's
Hello again,
amazing
Linda Hunter.
Yeah, I'm back.
It's amazing how something as simple as, you know, culture. I know you've all heard this, but culture is meant to be exclusive. It's meant to exclude people. It's a way of saying, this is us. This is what our parents done. This is what our ancestors done. It excludes you for a reason. And the madness of what's happened in Western Europe is your culture's got to be inclusive, which completely disarms it, makes it pointless, and so begins the dissolving of your power. And it's lovely. I mean, Eastern Europe is all very much like that. Poland is based as hell as well, and Lithuania is as well.
Yeah.
I think Northwestern Europeans are much less ethnocentric than a lot of other peoples, and we have projected that onto the rest of the world, which is a big fallacy that has had pretty big consequences. It's just not the case, and it's easy to see it's not the case, but everyone is told from the time that they're 3 years old that we're global citizens. Everyone thinks the same. Everyone looks at everyone else the same except you, and you're the racist. When in actuality, they're the only ones who are really devoid of any ethnocentrism, both genetically, I think, on some level, and culturally.
Sounds like Linda's moving her whole house around.
What are you doing, Linda?
Problems with the bird cage, Linda?
No, it's all right. I'll sit down again now. Sorry. It's just the way I walk. Isn't it, Dawn?
Ledden, if you had a chance to visit anywhere in the world, where would you go?
I have my answer. Yeah, a long time ago. I decided to go for Austria, just the hub of the great European classical tradition. Obviously, Mozart, Schubert, Beethoven, Haydn. That whole Bruckner later on in the Romantic generation. It's just, I think that's the place to be.
People, I think I've got to go.
Yeah,
because the next stream is in 4 minutes. Good Lord, this went past rapid. Didn't
we kind of gone over time. I didn't want to say just in case we got a bit of a bonus. No,
we didn't go over time. The next stream is 4 minutes, but I am going to have to wrap it up now so I can have a quick whiz.
Yeah, in silence, I would go back to Greece. Yeah, Plato, come on.
Yeah, I'd love to go to Greece. Yeah,
Greece.
I've got a lot of Greek books on my
Listen, right now you've all got to fuck off. I will talk to you all. I might stream later, but it depends.
Thanks for that. See you later.
Bye.
Adios, amigos.